Oh man, I don't feel comfortable doing this at all, and that's why I actually shouldn't be doing this. Um, but I feel like I have to update, I guess, for some reason. I've been gone obviously for months, and of course I don't have a proper YouTube channel at all, so nobody really missed me. But for those few people who somehow did watch my videos, those terrible weird videos, um, yeah, I'm not really active on YouTube unless if it's watching other people or other channels. I've not been active on any social media actually, or barely, because it just, I don't know, there's just nothing for me there except for drama and people fighting and overreacting, drama. And weird stuff I just shouldn't be watching that is just too intense for my brain to handle. But I just I did try to stream a few months ago, and I kind of it was getting somewhere, sort of, but I just stopped. I just don't feel good at it actually. I didn't feel like it helped me a little bit, but after a while it just didn't do anything for me anymore. I just, not that it's the people, it was just, it felt empty for me. And like a search that I just didn't need to have. Now, I still feel uncomfortable because I don't like how I look. I never did before just transitioning after. Well, I mean, I like myself a little bit more, of course, because I have changed. Um, I hope you can tell. Of course, acne is still an issue. Um, Starting to grow facial hair, of course, you cannot really see much of it at all because it's blonde, and most of it, I shave it off quite early on, so I don't really let it grow out that much. It's just, yeah, it's light hair. It's gonna be as light as this, and then it's gonna probably darken up when it's got some chin hair going, but like baby small. I mean, they are adult hairs, but they're just not that, you know, obviously. Um, and if I don't shave, it just looks weird and poofy. So I just get rid of it after like, I don't know, a week or two. And then I don't know. I think my voice has changed. Hopefully, of course, I'm also in the bathroom, so it sounds a little bit different. But I still have a lot of dysphoria about my voice, and I'm just I am getting almost never misgendered anymore, even though they have seen my old name or for some reason they have. Because some situations I have to, they see my old name, especially on my bank account that I still have not changed yet because I'm lazy and it takes too long, and not done that still, so it's on my old name and gender. That even then people still call me sir, because when they see me, this like they will probably assume, okay, this person is trans. They just think about it, but then they would not think further and or just say sir and forget about the whole name thing. Um, so people call me sir almost all the time now, but I don't know if that's because my looks and also my voice, or just because my looks help now and my voice is just lacking. I don't know. I obviously would still have a teenage guy's voice. It cracks. It's unstable. It's young, low sounding. Um, but it should pass at least as male in most ways, because before I would look male enough, usually. I say usually. But then my voice throws them sort of off. I don't know how it sounds on the phone. I also don't want to listen back to this recording at all because I just feel uncomfortable. I just have to post this and ignore it for until I feel comfortable to watch it again. So I hope I have said what I had to say, and I won't edit this at all. It's just gonna be me just talking in the bedroom because I don't know why, but that was a place I wanted to record at. Obviously, still living alone, trying to manage. Started a small job, 2 times a week. Haven't had much contact with any friends or people. I have had friends for years or months or weeks, whatever. Because most of them are just having their own lives. That kind of sounds bad to say, but it doesn't involve me, and they don't really miss me, and I don't really miss them. So it's like, let them go, I guess. So obviously I'm still transitioning. I might stick to the same dosage that I have now for more than 4 months, because the changes are actually going on a good pace for me. Not too fast, not too slow. They feel natural. Of course, I haven't had blood works done, and my doctor will tell me about it. He's gonna be like, you should do your blood works. He might not give me any hormones until I did, but I think he won't just cut me off from hormones. If I tell him I feel good and okay, and my changes are going fine, I don't think with the dosage I'm doing right now, I'm having too much in my body, because I started with like 0.3 milliliters or milligrams, whatever, and then I went up to 4, and now it's 5. But I understand he needs blood works, but I just hope he doesn't cut me off from hormones until I get my blood works done. He hasn't called me, he hasn't cut me off until the appointment that I'm gonna have with him, so I think he understands. I just have to explain my situation, that I just don't like my blood drawn at all. I have had one time that I have had extreme pain when I had my T-shot. That day I was shivering, but it wasn't because of my body and testosterone, because I barely have that shivering. Let's say usually I have it when I have extreme anxiety. And when I get my T-shot, of course I have small anxiety before getting it, but I have that everywhere in any way, like before going out, before going to a new store, before meeting new people, I have anxiety. Like meeting anxiety. Because also I sometimes have different nurses who take the shot for me, and I'm like, oh, is this going to go well? This is going to hurt? What needle is this? How much? Things like that. I never liked needles, and I still don't. I'm almost 11 months on hormones now. Get them every other week. You can count how many times I got a needle in my ass. More than I would ever have in my life. And I'm still scared of it. So people who keep telling me, yeah, you will get used to it, shut up. It's like, it doesn't hurt. You shut up, please. The people who usually say this have no pain. They, I don't know, have no fear of needles or sharp objects. I do. I'm very clumsy. I've had almost accidents. I've seen people have accidents, heard about people having accidents with sharp things, because they were thoughtless about it. And I'm not thoughtless about it, but I have slipped with knives on accident as well. And but my reflexes, I usually can stop it, but that is just scary to think about, cutting yourself and it goes out of hand. Bleeding, I'm not like that itself, I don't have fear of it, but the pain itself, I have fear of it, because the pain has made me almost faint once. So the one time, it wasn't not too long ago, my nurse came, and the same nurse I have had for a while, so I felt comfortable with him. But I had anxiety, or I was shivering. I was acting different, even though I was not really paying attention. He was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. I thought I was sick." That's because I had it the whole day long. Maybe I had too much caffeine, but I sat down, and we did the usual, like rubbing the area with alcohol thing, for numbing it or cleaning it up, getting his needle out, my testosterone, whatever, and he does the poking, and it hurt it felt like a burning stab sensation. I would have pulled a muscle very badly, but it was concentrated like on my ass muscle area. I don't know how to explain it. And he said, "Wow, your skin has tightened up." And I was like, "My skin tightened up? How is that possible?" And he says, "Yeah, that's possible. When you have anxiety or something like that, your skin also, a side of your muscles can act um, to protect itself." And I was like, "Oh shit." Now I don't know if he feels bad because that happened. I did tell him that it's not his fault, and he's not like, oh my god. He was just like, "Are you okay? Do you need a minute?" and stuff like that. He was a bit distant though. But yeah, that happened. What I do have after every shot, some days I have it, but sometimes I have more than others. Is bruises or bruising, feeling of bruising at least, not really actual bruising, but like the tissue itself bruises a little bit, and apparently that's normal. But sometimes I have more than others, so that probably means my body just acts more on it. But yeah, if it really gets painful constantly, and because last time a nurse came and she used a smaller needle, usually that's not really efficient for the hormones that I get because it's thick and syrupy, but she took her time and she knew, and I think she knew. Sometimes, like I said, I get paranoid, like, is my shot done correctly? I don't do it myself. Probably you know why now. But I had bruising as I had with other nurses with bigger needles, smaller needles. So I think it didn't feel a bump or it not like go through me. It sounds weird, but I think she did correctly. But she had to do it with a smaller needle because she's a nurse, and she said that she's also scared of needles, and she's a nurse. Probably because it's the needle inside of her and not other people, and that's sometimes just psychology. But it didn't hurt at all. I didn't even feel it. So it's like Sunday, like I said, and I had the same anxiety, especially because it was another person that I've not seen before. But yeah, I'm just gonna see if I can stick with needles. It's the cheapest right now. I have insurance for it right now, but if I have to change, it's gonna be yeah, different and expensive. We'll see. I want to stretch to at least 1 year and a half or 2 years even, because then I have my most significant changes usually. Everything else is just gonna fill in, like body hair and fat distribution, like the minor areas, I guess. But yeah. So I'm not. What the thing about being not that much misgendered as well is I have thought about this before and said it before to people, but I had a feeling that everybody treated me the same as they did Preeti, just as me, which should be the way everybody should be treated. But I mean, now for some reason I don't know if it's me, like my mind. I mean, but lately, especially since I started working and doing that job, um, everybody, not them on the job. I mean, everybody that, especially strangers who meet me, like me, they treat me differently than they did to me, Preeti. I don't know how to explain this. I could say that as in men, they greet me more, they want to talk to me, they like are softer around me, which sounds not like they're gay, but like or in love or something, but it's like they act social. And I always thought maybe they before didn't like to hang with me because I was just not in a good vibe, because I'm always negative or had a lot of negativity around me. More, I still have it sometimes, but it's like now I feel like me, with my transition and everything. But even then, when I was in the beginning stage of my transition, they didn't seem to like make eye contact with me a lot, or not as in a friendly way. Usually it was like, oh, it's the person, and they look away, which is kind of upsetting because I thought guys, especially straight guys, would not mind looking at females, even though I get a sword by thinking about it, but you know what I mean. Of course I wasn't that, whatever. It's just right now they just seem to like talk to me when I don't have no idea who they are, like, and not just as in hello I am, but more as in hey, how you going, what are you doing for a job, hey, would you want to mind drinking with us, would you like to do that, hey, sup, how are you holding up, things like that, um, hey man, and things like that. And it's like, okay, every time it gets to me because I haven't had that for so long. I was like, what? In my mind, of course, and I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. Usually my responses are awkward. I will like, it's obvious, but after a while, it gets better. But it's like, whoa, these people talk to me. Young guys, older men, of all kind of ages. Children, that's just not a difference. But it's like from, I don't know, 16-year-old dudes in the gym to, they would like be more inviting, that they would give me, they would be closer to me in a way. And females, I don't know, I still have to figure that out, but I sometimes talk to them, as I always do, and they're more, well, flirty, honestly pretty. I, as weird as it sounds, for myself, I kind of flirted with women and guys, but not as in because I had interest, just because I am a horny bastard. And I always talk about weird shit. Now it's worse. But back then it also happened. But now when I do it, they're more, how do I explain this? It's just more fun or different or more, like, I don't know, heated. I should not explain this. It's just, it feels better for me as first of all to do it, because it's like I'm not making straight women more comfortable, since they perceive me as male, so it's like for them it's more easy to accept my flirting, I guess, though they never really hated on it. But now it's like, I don't know. Or what I do have noticed is that women are more shy, but not like afraid or anything. It's just like some women or girls have looked at me more, but that could be me, but just like had an eye on me, like, that's a guy. I don't know. It's now, I think it's now what guys did with me, pretty. It's now what happens, what women do to me, auntie. If that makes sense. I don't know. Probably sexual tension or some shit. I don't know. Is it bad or good for me? I mean, honestly, I just feel validated more, because every sort of guy is now like more comfortable around me. And maybe I get more chances of meeting women in my life, you know, getting to know them more, relationship wise and stuff, because I never could at all. I still cannot, but now it's like I'm more open to reach out myself instead of waiting on everything. And just letting it go, you know, without too much fear, or, yeah, still there, but less. And I guess that's it. Yeah, this is an awkward angle. It's just my arm is getting tired and I want to eat. But yeah, I'm not gonna rewatch this clip. I don't want to hear my own voice. It sounds good in my head. It doesn't sound good at recordings at all. It just makes me dysphoric. I like, in some areas I have more dysphoria than others now because of my transitioning. And in other areas I now have almost no dysphoria. Not all the time. It shifts. But it's like some days I feel more myself, or masculine, or man. And then those things are for me easier to handle, and other days it's like, it's always in my face. It's like, especially when I'm naked, you know, when I have to shower, it's like, honestly horrifying, especially with this mirror. It goes all the way down to that. God, I have acne everywhere. I do. I almost look bald, but that just because my hair looks thin, and I cut my own hair. It looks okay. I'm not a hairdresser. Um, Not a professional. But yeah, that's all I can say honestly. I really have to fucking get rid of this fluffy hair because it's just I keep plucking it, because I have like fidgety habits, and it's like, oh, look at this, I can fidget with it. It's like, stop doing it. It's disgusting. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video. I'm okay. I'm just not planning on uploading much of my life because it's just not really for me. Um, but yes, I'm still transitioning. I'm still on hormones. I'm fine. I just don't. Nobody should take anything personal. I'm just not feeling it online anymore on the internet. Honestly, um, yeah. Okay.